Hello and welcome to my very first YouTube video. I'm Nasipamia Leva. I am a mother, a wife, and a former newborn care specialist. Never in my life did I think I would be creating a YouTube channel, but for the last 12 months, God has completely changed the course of my life and has taken me down a path I never saw coming. And it started back in March 2024. God told me to leave my job and start a YouTube channel. And it didn't make any sense at all to me. I loved my job. I was very happy. I was doing something I love and have been doing for over almost a decade, and I was really happy in it. And so that made no sense to me at all. And so I doubted, I questioned the source of that desire. I told myself it wasn't God, it was my own thoughts. I'm not really good at communicating, I'm not good at speaking in general. So to get on YouTube and like do what? Like it didn't make sense. It wasn't me, it wasn't what I wanted. The funny thing is, when God is calling you to something, it doesn't matter what you do to run from it. In the end, you're going to realize that nothing else in your life is going to move forward until you do the thing that God has called you to. It doesn't matter how long it takes you to follow into God's calling. Eventually, you're just gonna hit a roadblock in your life, and you're going to realize that the only direction left for you to take is the direction towards the thing that God has called you to. And that is exactly what happened to me. When God first told me to create a YouTube channel, He didn't tell me what content to create. It took me quite some time to figure out what God was calling me to and why. I didn't used to watch a lot of YouTube, and when I did, I typically watch vlogs, lifestyle content, and travel content, and that stuff just wasn't me. It's not who I am. And so when God put the idea of YouTube in my mind, I didn't know what I could be creating. Most of the content I would consume on YouTube, just it wasn't me. And so I was very lost and confused for a very long time. I kept doubting and resisting, and I just tried to just move on with my life and forget about the whole YouTube thing, until God literally stopped every window of opportunity for me to get work. To give you a little idea of how my job works, I work as a newborn care specialist, or used to, and every 12 to 16 weeks I would change jobs. My contracts are typically 12 to 16 weeks long, which means I'm constantly interviewing, constantly looking for work to fill in my work calendar. And so when I wouldn't do the YouTube thing, I feel like God just stopped every window of opportunity for me to work. I would apply for jobs, and whenever I would get an interview, I literally could not speak. My mind went blank. I would try to answer questions. I just couldn't remember answers to things I know so well. The platform that I use to apply for work has the system that if you put in an application, you can see if the employer has opened it. Most of the jobs that I would apply to sometimes would be seen, but they would not respond to me, which was very odd because my profile was amazing. I had all 5-star reviews. Any potential client that sees my profile, they are immediately eager to interview me because my profile is that good. And I was also really good at interviews, so it just didn't make sense why they were not responding to my applications, or why I was struggling to answer questions. The whole thing was just really weird for me, and I just came to the realization that I was battling something that was just bigger than me, because everything that was happening around trying to find work, none of that has ever happened to me before. I've never struggled like that to find work, and I just knew that I needed God. I knew that I needed to surrender to God. I needed to draw near to Him and just try and understand what He's saying to me and get clarity and understanding for everything, because everything that was happening just was bigger than me. I prayed and asked God to help me. I prayed and asked him to give me more job opportunities, and it just kept happening. I kept not remembering things on interviews. I kept not being responded to by potential clients, and this went on for months up until the point that I finally decided to stop looking for work. I finally just said, okay, God, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm just going to finally give in. I deleted all of my work search apps. I told the agencies to stop sending me work if they were gonna be sending me any work. And I just was like, I need to spend time with God. I need to understand what's going on in my life and what exactly he needs me to do. I started seeking him daily for answers and clarity. I gave up social media. I gave up watching TV because I just wanted to remove all distractions. I wanted to be so centered to God that I would not miss anything he tries and communicate to me. So I removed every distraction out of my life. I prayed multiple times a day, and slowly over months of seeking him constantly and spending time with him every day, he started to change me. He changed my desires. He changed all the things that I prioritized. I stopped caring about a lot of things I used to love and care about. I stopped chasing certain things. He changed my heart. I even stopped caring if I ever went back to work or not. We lived in the Bay Area at the time, and somehow my family was able to, make it month after month of me not working, just solely relying on my husband's income. We were able to pay our bills every month, even though it was tight, but we barely touching our savings, which is great. And we're making it work. He's providing what we need, but we made it through 9 months of me not working. Over the last year, he's blessed us with so much and so many things we've prayed for over the years that didn't seem like we're ever gonna happen. My husband and I have always wanted to move to Southern California, and we've prayed every year for the last 7 years for my husband to get a job in Southern California, and it just didn't seem to happen. But finally last year it did, and in August we were able to finally move. And I was very excited for the move because I thought it would be a new start for me to try and reestablish myself in my field and look for work. Even though I wasn't so focused in looking for work when we were still in the Bay Area, but the move kind of made me feel like, okay, it's time. You've taken all this time off. It's time to get back to work. You are in a new area. Maybe start, take this opportunity to look for work again. So a few weeks after we moved, I decided on a whim to just get on one of the job search platforms and look for work. And there had been a job that was posted, I think about a week. I thought it was already gonna have been filled, but it was so close to me, so I thought I would just take my chance and apply to it. Even though I had told my husband that I wasn't gonna look for work until 2 months after we moved here, because I wanted us to settle first before I look for work and make sure that our household is running smoothly and create a good routine for everyone before I could look for work. But on that day, I don't know what it was, something in me I just felt like I needed to get online and look for work. And I applied for this job, and I got a response same day, and they asked to interview me on the same day. And the interview went really well. I felt like my old self again. I was in the zone. I was able to answer all their questions, and it was a really great interview. The only thing was that we had a little bit of a clash on schedule. I needed to get off at 5 a.m. so that my husband would be able to leave on time to go to work and I can watch my daughter. And the family needed someone to get off at 8 a.m. So the schedule wasn't gonna work out pretty well, but they liked me very much and thought we would give it a shot. We decided on a 2-week trial. The client was a very young family, and both mom and dad had never taken care of a baby before. And so when I first started working with them, they didn't know a lot about taking care of a newborn. They didn't know what products to have, how to treat a diaper rash. They didn't know a lot. So I was able to come in and help them out and tell them what to get, what products to buy, what the best diaper rash product, the best best diapers to use. Part of my job is to provide overnight newborn care as well as educate and provide guidance and support to the client to help them feel more confident and empowered in their new roles as parents. I teach them how to care for their newborn, and I provide them with best and effective solutions to help the baby. I also assist them with sleep training and healthy sleep habits, and I provide them with all my methods and techniques to help their baby sleep better. That's just part of what entail. One of the weekends that I had off with this client, they texted me. I usually don't work weekends, and so they texted me on this one particular weekend off, and they were just having a really tough day and a lot was going on. They were dealing with a lot that they couldn't figure out, and so they texted me, and we were texting back and forth for about 2 hours. I was helping them with this issue, and I'm writing them back and forth, and my heart was just aching for them. And I realized in that moment that I need to figure out the best way to help them, even for the times when I'm not there. I was on a walk when we were texting, so I came home and I went to my room and I grabbed my laptop and I just started writing every scenario I could think of that might happen and what they could do to help the baby if something like that were to happen. So I just wrote them pages and pages of information. If you see this, do this, make sure you have all these products, I wrote them so much information because I just felt so bad for them. Like that day, you could tell they're going through the ringer, and I just felt so bad. And I wrote them pages and pages and pages of information for what to do. And it's in that moment that it just hit me. Something inside of me said, you could help so many people with this information. You know so much. If you could just not only help the families that hire you to work for them, you could make videos about all of this information and share it on YouTube for other parents to be able to help themselves. I remember just thinking how many more people out there have newborn babies that they just brought home from the hospital and don't have anyone to help them and don't know what they're doing and are just winging it. And I just thought sharing what I know with more people could help so many more people. It shouldn't be just stuff that I share with the families that pay me. And one of the things I always enjoy is I would be talking to another parent of a newborn, and if they ask me anything about sleep training or newborn care stuff, I get so excited to talk to them and answer them. So for the first time creating content on this, it made sense. I really felt like I was like, God, I finally get it. This felt like something that was more me, something that I love. I love helping people. I love helping families with their babies, and to create a YouTube channel and share this knowledge just makes a lot more sense. The trial ended up lasting a week and a half, and they decided to let me go. And I'm so glad that I got the opportunity to work for that family, even though it was brief, because I don't think that I would have figured out what I was supposed to do on YouTube if it wasn't for that opportunity to work with that family. And so I'm very grateful that it happened, even though it didn't work out, and I think it was meant to be that way. I remember being so frustrated with God and saying, you knew this wasn't gonna work out. Why did you let me go through this if it wasn't gonna work out? And it was in that moment, as I was wrestling with God, that I realized that that's what God wanted to show me. God wanted to show me why I needed to be on YouTube, what type of content I could create for YouTube. And I honestly believe that I wouldn't have figured out if it wasn't for that family. So I'm very grateful to them. I've always loved sharing my knowledge with my clients and helping them navigate the early stages in their life as parents. And so I'm just really excited to be bringing that knowledge here on YouTube, and I hope that it would help a lot more parents out there with their new babies. I do feel that from time to time I will definitely use this platform to talk about my faith as well, because God has just brought me through so much in my life, and I think that it is something that is worth sharing as well. The world is suffering right now. Talking about Jesus can be helpful to people who are suffering, so they'll know who to turn to in their time of need. And I think the world needs more content like that. The world is suffering, and it's our job as Christ followers to do our part and spread the gospel to try and help those who need it and those who don't know where to turn in their suffering. I certainly want to do my part. God has rescued me from so many storms, even when I didn't know him or loved him. I just want to be obedient to him even when it's hard and sometimes uncomfortable and confusing. My hope for this channel is to just share valuable information, whether it's in my area of expertise or just life experiences. The next few videos will focus more on my faith because I just want to start off this journey with God. I wouldn't even have created this channel if it wasn't for him. So I just want to bring him glory and honor and start off this channel with him. Thank you for watching, and please consider subscribing if you want to see where this journey is going to take me. Till next time, bye.